Barry and Maria's wedding was a beautiful and intimate ceremony, attended by close friends and well-wishers. They started their new life together with hope and determination, leaving behind the painful memories of the past. They moved into a cozy home, filled with love and warmth, ready to build a future together. Maria, with Barry's support, finally pursued her education. She enrolled in a local college and began studying to become a nurse. Her dream was to help others, inspired by the struggles she had witnessed and endured in her own family. Barry encouraged her every step of the way, proud of her dedication and resilience. Meanwhile, Barry continued working at his father's company, but his relationship with Chief remained strained. Chief still harbored resentment towards Maria, unable to let go of his past desires and anger. Barry, however, stood by Maria, defending her against any negativity from his father. Maria excelled in her studies, earning top grades and the respect of her peers and professors. She found joy in learning and a sense of purpose in her chosen path. Barry, watching Maria thrive, felt immense pride and happiness. He knew they were building a future based on love, respect, and mutual support. Despite their happiness, the shadow of their past occasionally resurfaced. Maria often thought of her sister Lisa and their father, wishing they could see the life she was building. She visited their graves regularly, finding solace in talking to them and sharing her achievements. One day, while Maria was at the cemetery, she noticed a young girl sitting alone by a grave, crying. Maria approached her gently and learned that the girl, named Tasha, had lost her parents and was living with her uncle, who treated her poorly. Tasha's story touched Maria deeply, reminding her of her own struggles. Maria and Barry decided to help Tasha. They took her into their home, providing her with love, care, and a safe environment. As the years passed, Maria completed her nursing degree and started working at a local hospital. She became known for her compassion and dedication, always going the extra mile for her patients. One day, Chief called Barry with a heavy voice, telling him that he was very ill and that the doctor said he didn't have much time left. Barry's heart sank, and he immediately went to see his father. When he got there, Chief looked frail and weary. He asked Barry to bring Maria and Tasha to live with him in his final days, saying he wanted to be surrounded by family. Barry went home and told Maria about Chief's request. Maria hesitated at first. She knew Chief never really liked her, and she loved their cozy home. But seeing the worry in Barry's eyes and knowing how important this was, Maria decided to put the past behind her. She forgave Chief and agreed to move in with him for his final days. They packed their belongings and, with Tasha, moved into Chief's grand house. The house was much larger and more luxurious than their own, but it felt cold and empty. Maria decided to make the best of the situation, focusing on creating a warm and loving environment for Chief. As they settled in, Maria took on the role of caregiver, using her nursing skills to look after Chief. She made sure he was comfortable, administering his medication and preparing nutritious meals. Tasha, with her bright spirit, brought a sense of youth and energy into the house, often sitting with Chief and chatting about her day. Unknown to Barry and Maria, Chief had lied about his illness. He wasn't as sick as he claimed. In truth, he was obsessed with Maria and wanted to see her every day. The lie about his health was a way to bring her closer and keep her in his house. At first, Barry and Maria didn't suspect anything. They settled into their new routine, with Maria taking care of Chief and Barry working hard to support the family. Tasha enjoyed the big house, often playing in the garden and filling the home with her laughter. Maria, being the kind-hearted person she was, dedicated herself to looking after Chief. She spent her days ensuring he was comfortable, giving him his medications, and cooking his favorite meals. She tried to create a warm and loving environment for everyone, despite feeling a bit uneasy around Chief. Chief watched Maria closely, appreciating her beauty and gentle nature. He enjoyed having her around, much more than he ever admitted. His obsession grew with each passing day, and he found himself looking for more ways to keep her near. One day, while Maria was tending to the garden, Chief called her inside. He pretended to be in pain, clutching his chest and breathing heavily. Maria rushed to his side, her nurse's instincts kicking in. She checked his vitals, but everything seemed normal. Chief brushed it off, saying he felt better just having her close. As days turned into weeks, Chief's demands for Maria's attention increased. He would often call her into his room for small tasks or just to talk. always finding excuses to keep her with him. Barry, busy with work, didn't notice anything unusual. He trusted his father and believed he was truly ill. Maria, however, started to feel uncomfortable. She noticed the way Chief looked at her, the lingering touches, and the way he always wanted her nearby. She couldn't shake off the feeling that something was wrong. But she kept her concerns to herself, not wanting to worry Barry. One evening, as Maria was tucking Tasha into bed, she found a letter under her pillow. It was from Chief, written in a shaky hand. In the letter, he confessed his feelings for her, expressing his admiration and obsession. He wrote about how he had lied about his illness just to have her close, and how much he enjoyed seeing her every day. Maria felt a wave of disgust and anger wash over her. She couldn't believe Chief had manipulated them like this. She kept the letter, planning to show it to Barry, but she knew she had to handle this carefully. She didn't want to upset Barry or cause a family rift, especially when Tasha was so happy here. The next day, Maria decided to confront Chief. She went into his room and showed him the letter, demanding an explanation. Chief, realizing he had been caught, tried to apologize, saying he couldn't help his feelings. He begged her not to tell Barry, promising he would keep his distance from now on. Maria was furious but agreed to keep the secret for now. That night, Maria lay awake, thinking about what to do. She knew she needed to tell Barry the truth eventually, but she wanted to find the right time. For now, she decided to be more cautious around Chief, keeping her distance as much as possible. Soon, Maria found out she was pregnant. She told Barry, and he was overjoyed. He hugged her tightly, tears of happiness in his eyes. Out of excitement, Barry couldn't keep the news to himself and immediately told Chief. Chief pretended to be happy, congratulating them both. But deep down, he was filled with jealousy and bitterness. He wished Maria was married to him instead. As the days passed, Chief's hidden resentment grew stronger. Every time he saw Maria and Barry together, it fueled his anger. He wished Barry was out of the picture so he could have Maria for himself. The thoughts consumed him, and soon he started hating his own son. Chief began to secretly plan ways to get rid of Barry. He knew he had to be careful so no one would suspect him. He started with small, subtle acts, trying to create tension between Barry and Maria. He would make hurtful comments about Barry when Maria was around, hoping to plant seeds of doubt in her mind. But Maria's love for Barry was strong, and she saw through Chief's manipulations. Seeing that his subtle efforts were failing, Chief decided to take more drastic measures. He began to think of ways to harm Barry physically. He considered sabotaging Barry's work equipment or causing an accident. One day, Chief saw an opportunity. Barry had to go on a business trip and would be driving a long distance. Chief tampered with Barry's car, hoping to cause an accident. He loosened the brakes and cut a few crucial wires, praying his plan would work. Barry left for his trip, unaware of the danger he was in. Maria, feeling uneasy, hugged him tightly before he left, telling him to be careful. Barry reassured her with a smile and a kiss, promising to return soon. As Barry drove, he noticed something was wrong with the car. The brakes weren't responding properly, and the steering felt off. He pulled over to the side of the road, his heart pounding with fear. Realizing the car had been tampered with, he immediately called for help and arranged for a tow truck. Barry was shaken but unharmed. He called Maria to let her know he was okay and explained what had happened. Maria was relieved but also suspicious. She couldn't shake the feeling that Chief had something to do with it. When Barry returned home, Maria confronted Chief. She accused him of trying to harm Barry, but Chief denied everything, putting on an innocent act. Barry, trusting his father, tried to calm Maria down, saying it was probably just a coincidence, but Maria knew better. She decided to keep a close eye on Chief, determined to protect her family. She made sure Barry's car was checked regularly and took extra precautions to keep him safe. Meanwhile, Chief's frustration grew. His plans had failed, and Maria was more determined than ever to protect Barry. Chief realized he needed a new strategy, something more cunning and foolproof. He continued to plot in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike. One afternoon, Maria went to the hospital for a checkup, and Tasha was at school. Barry stayed home because he wasn't feeling well. While searching through the wardrobe for a sweater, he found a hidden letter. Curious, he opened it and saw it was a love letter from his father, Chief, to Maria. Barry felt a surge of anger and betrayal. Clutching the letter, he stormed to the living room, where Chief was sitting. He confronted his father, demanding to know why he had written the letter. Chief quickly lied, claiming he never sent any letter and suggesting it might be from one of Maria's old sugar daddies. He then added that he had warned Barry not to marry Maria because of her family history, saying that this kind of trouble comes with her. Barry's anger shifted towards Maria. He couldn't believe she might be hiding something so serious from him. He waited anxiously for her to return home, pacing back and forth with the letter in his hand. When Maria came back from the hospital, Barry met her at the door. Confused and worried, Maria followed him to their room. Barry handed her the letter, demanding an explanation. Maria's eyes widened in shock as she read the letter. She admitted she didn't know how to tell him and didn't think he would believe her. Barry, still upset, asked how long she had known about this. Maria looked down, ashamed, and revealed she had found the letter a few months ago. She was afraid to show him because she thought it would ruin everything. She didn't know what to do. Barry felt a mix of anger and sadness, reminding Maria that they had promised to be honest with each other. Maria, with tears streaming down her face, apologized and explained she was scared. Chief had been trying to come between them, and she didn't want to lose Barry. Barry's anger began to fade. He apologized too, realizing he should have trusted Maria. Barry, seeing that Chief had lied about his health and was trying to come between him and Maria, decided it was time to leave his father's house. He wanted to protect his marriage and his family from Chief's manipulation. However, before they left, Chief begged Barry to let Tasha stay with him. Chief claimed he needed help around the house and insisted that Tasha would be a great help to him. Barry was hesitant, but when he told Maria about Chief's wish, she was strongly against it. Maria feared for Tasha's safety and didn't trust Chief at all. But Barry, believing that Tasha would be safe and wanting to please his father, begged Maria to consider it. Reluctantly, Maria agreed, hoping it was the right decision. They returned to their home, leaving Tasha behind. Tasha was excited to stay with Chief, as he always bought her gifts and treated her well. She enjoyed the attention and the new things she received from him. As days turned into weeks, Chief began to spend more time with Tasha. He showered her with even more gifts and affection, making her feel special. Soon, Chief started to have an inappropriate relationship with Tasha. He used his charm and manipulation to keep her close, making her believe that what was happening was a sign of his love and care for her. Meanwhile, Barry and Maria tried to adjust to their life back home. Maria couldn't shake off her worries about Tasha, feeling a constant sense of unease. She tried to stay busy, but the thought of Tasha's well-being haunted her every day. One evening, Barry saw that Maria was upset and asked her what was wrong. Maria admitted that she couldn't stop thinking about Tasha and feared that leaving her with Chief was a mistake. Barry began to worry too and decided they needed to check on Tasha soon. When they visited Chief's house, Tasha seemed happy on the surface, but Maria noticed small changes in her behavior. She seemed more quiet and distant, which worried Maria even more. Chief, on the other hand, acted like everything was normal, pretending to be a caring grandfather. Chief continued his secret affair with Tasha until one day she found out she was pregnant. Chief panicked and told her to get an abortion, promising that he would marry her afterward. He said he didn't want her to have a baby before he paid her bride price. Tasha, in her innocence, believed him and agreed. Chief also made her promise not to tell Barry or Maria about their relationship, the pregnancy, or the abortion. Tasha, scared and confused, went along with Chief's demands. She felt alone and didn't know what to do. Chief arranged everything for the abortion, and Tasha kept it all a secret, just as he had asked. Tasha had even stopped going to school because Chief was taking her out and giving her money. One day the school called Maria and informed her about Tasha's absence. Worried, Maria called Chief to ask why Tasha had stopped attending classes. Chief lied, saying that Tasha was being bullied, and that's why she stopped going. He added that he was looking for a better school for her. Meanwhile, Chief was spoiling her with money, and they often traveled together, visiting luxurious places that Tasha had only dreamed of before. Some weeks later, Tasha asked Chief when he was going to marry her. Chief replied that she had to wait until she turned 18. He also mentioned that she needed to do something very important for him first. When Tasha asked what it was, Chief told her she would find out soon. Tasha, eager to please Chief and secure her future, agreed without hesitation. She trusted him completely, believing in his promises and unaware of his true intentions. A few months later, Maria gave birth to a son. Barry called his father to share the happy news. Chief pretended to be delighted, but inside he was furious. He wanted Maria for himself, and now, with a male heir in the picture, his plans were even more threatened. Chief decided to use Tasha in his evil scheme. He told her to give a harmful substance to Barry, Maria, and their newborn baby. Tasha was shocked and refused at first, saying she couldn't do something so terrible. Chief then manipulated her, saying that if they didn't get rid of Barry and his family, she would be left with nothing. According to their tradition, only a male child could inherit the properties, and if Chief died, Tasha would be left alone without any wealth. Feeling trapped, Tasha reluctantly agreed. Under the guise of visiting her new nephew, Tasha went to Maria's house. She arrived with a smile, bringing gifts for the baby. She told Maria she wanted to help her around the house and offered to cook a meal. Maria, happy to have Tasha's support, welcomed her warmly. In the kitchen, Tasha stood with the harmful substance in her hand. She felt a wave of guilt and fear. She thought about how Maria and Barry had always been kind to her, treating her like family. They had done so much for her, and now she was supposed to betray them. The thought was unbearable. When the meal was ready, Tasha couldn't bring herself to go through with the plan. Instead, she dumped the substance into the trash, unable to harm her family. She carried the food to the dining table and served it to Maria and Barry. After dinner, Tasha told Maria that she needed to go home. Maria was surprised, as Tasha had promised to stay for a few days to help with the baby. "Are you sure you want to leave so soon?" Maria asked, noticing the unusual behavior. Tasha forced a smile. "Yes, something urgent came up, and I need to get back. But I'll come visit again soon," she said, trying to hide her distress. Maria felt something was off, but didn't press further. She hugged Tasha and thanked her for the visit and the help. As Tasha left, she felt a heavy burden lift off her shoulders, but she knew she was far from free. She had defied Chief's orders, and there would be consequences. As Tasha walked away from Maria's house, she resolved to find a way to protect her family from Chief's evil plans. She realized she couldn't let fear control her any longer. She had to find the courage to stand up to Chief and ensure that Barry, Maria, and their baby were safe. The battle was just beginning, but Tasha was ready to fight for the family that had always fought for her. When Tasha got home, Chief was eagerly waiting for her. He asked her if she had done what he asked. Tasha, with a heavy heart, said no. She couldn't do it. Chief's face turned red with anger. He was scared that Tasha would soon expose him and his evil plans. To silence her, Chief put something in her food that night. Tasha went to sleep and never woke up. The next morning, Maria and Barry received the heartbreaking news. They were devastated. Maria cried for days, unable to believe that Tasha was gone. Barry was equally distraught, feeling the loss deeply. Maria told Barry that she suspected his father. She believed Chief had something to do with Tasha's sudden death. Barry, already overwhelmed with grief, became furious. He didn't want to hear any accusations against his father. "How can you say that?" Barry shouted. "You never liked him. Just because you don't get along doesn't mean he would do something so horrible." Maria tried to explain her feelings. "Barry, I know it's hard to hear, but something doesn't feel right. Tasha was healthy. She wouldn't just die like that." Barry shook his head, refusing to listen. "I don't want to hear any more of this. My father would never hurt anyone. He loved Tasha like his own daughter." Maria felt a lump in her throat. She knew Barry was in denial, but she couldn't push him further. She decided to let it go for now, hoping that in time, Barry would see the truth. Soon, Barry started to think more about what Maria had told him. Though he didn't want to believe his father would do such a thing, he remembered how his father had been lying to them about so many things. Barry decided to confront his father. When he arrived, Chief denied everything. He even cried, saying Maria disliked him for no reason. Chief claimed that Maria's late mother once wanted him to marry Maria, but he refused, and since then, Maria hated him. Barry was starting to believe him. Chief then went inside and brought out a bottle of wine, pouring a glass for Barry. As Barry was about to drink, his phone rang. It was Maria. She called to ask about his whereabouts since they had argued the previous night. Barry didn't tell her where he was. He only said they would talk when he got home and hung up. He was about to drink again when something inside him told him not to. Barry told his father he wouldn't drink because he wasn't feeling well. Chief tried to persuade him, but Barry refused and left. Unknown to Barry, Chief had other plans for him. As Barry was driving home, Maria called again, but he didn't pick up. He was still mad at her. Then Chief called and begged Barry to help him get an important package from one of his business partners. Barry, feeling exhausted, wanted to go home and rest, but Chief insisted. Barry reluctantly agreed. Chief then gave him the address. Barry drove to the address, feeling uneasy. Something didn't sit right with him, but he brushed it off. When he arrived at the location, it was a secluded warehouse. He got out of the car and looked around, feeling a chill run down his spine. The place seemed abandoned. As he walked toward the entrance, he noticed a car parked nearby. He saw a weird-looking man inside. As Barry approached the man in the car, he began to feel scared. He didn't notice the other men lurking nearby. Suddenly, they grabbed him and dragged him into the forest. Barry was taken to a secluded hut, locked inside and guarded. His phone was switched off, and Maria's calls went unanswered. That night, Maria was frantic. She tried calling Barry over and over, but there was no response. The next day, she called Chief, hoping he might know where Barry was. Chief claimed he hadn't seen Barry for days. Maria was devastated. She cried out, "Oh dear Lord, why have you forsaken me? What have I done to deserve this? Why are my enemies doing this to me? Who have I offended?" Desperate, Maria called Chief again, telling him she was going to inform the police. Chief quickly told her not to, suggesting that Barry might be at one of his girlfriend's houses. Maria was confused and didn't understand why Chief was saying this. He then offered to come to her house to explain better. Chief arrived at Maria's house later that day, putting on a concerned face. He sat down with Maria, who was visibly upset and exhausted. Chief began to weave a story about Barry having a secret life, claiming that he often disappeared like this and would always return after a few days. He insisted there was no need to involve the police and that Barry would come back soon. Maria was torn. She didn't fully trust Chief, but she was desperate for answers. She decided to wait a little longer before going to the police. Meanwhile, Barry was trying to figure out a way to escape. The men guarding him were tough, and the hut was secure, but Barry knew he had to find a way out. Back at home, Maria couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. She confided in a close friend, explaining the situation and her suspicions about Chief. Her friend urged her to go to the police, saying it was better to be safe than sorry. Determined to find her husband, Maria decided to follow her friend's advice. She went to the police and reported Barry missing, providing them with all the details. The police took her seriously and started an investigation. As the days passed, Maria's anxiety grew. She could barely sleep or eat, constantly worrying about Barry. She prayed for his safety and hoped the police would find him soon. Meanwhile, Barry was observing his captors, looking for any opportunity to escape. He noticed that the guards changed shifts at a specific time each day. Using this information, he began to plan his escape carefully, waiting for the right moment. One night, while the guards were switching shifts, Barry saw his chance. He managed to slip out of the hut unnoticed and ran into the forest. He ran for what felt like hours, desperate to put as much distance between himself and his captors as possible. Eventually, Barry found a road and flagged down a passing car. The driver, seeing Barry's desperate state, agreed to take him to the nearest town. Barry borrowed the driver's phone and called Maria. When she heard his voice, she burst into tears of relief. She could not wait for him to get home. The driver took Barry home. When Barry arrived, Maria rushed to him, her face filled with worry and relief. "What happened? How did you end up there?" she asked. Barry explained everything, recounting how he was taken and held captive in the forest. Maria immediately suspected Chief, but Barry shook his head. "No, my father wouldn't do such a thing. It must be my ex-girlfriend. She's always hated me for not marrying her. I once caught her with my friend, and that's why I broke things off." When Chief came over and Barry shared his suspicions about his ex-girlfriend, Chief pretended to be concerned and supportive. He expressed relief that Barry was safe and immediately went to the police station. Using his influence, Chief bribed the police to arrest Barry's ex-girlfriend for a crime she didn't commit, all to divert Maria's suspicions from himself. When Maria heard that Chief had arranged for Barry's ex-girlfriend to be arrested, she was furious. She knew in her heart that the woman was innocent, but she felt powerless to prove that Chief was guilty. She felt overwhelmed and frustrated as she struggled to find a way to expose the truth without causing more harm to her family. Maria tried to explain to Barry that his ex-girlfriend was not responsible for the crime. However, Barry found it hard to believe that his father could be involved. He thought Chief was strict but loving, and it was difficult for him to imagine his father being capable of such wrongdoing. Despite her frustration, Maria knew she had to be cautious. Chief was powerful and cunning, and any wrong move could make things worse for her family. She decided to quietly gather information and evidence against Chief, hoping to uncover the truth without alerting him. One Saturday afternoon, Barry took their son out for a while, giving Maria the chance she had been waiting for. She decided it was time to confront Chief and reveal the truth about what she suspected. Maria didn't tell anyone where she was going, not even Barry, feeling that this was something she needed to handle on her own. When Maria arrived at Chief's house, Chief greeted her with a fake smile. "My love, you have finally come to see your real husband," he said with a fake excitement. Maria was furious and didn't hold back. She shouted at him, calling him a kidnapper and a murderer. Chief's expression quickly changed from happiness to rage. He signaled one of his men, who grabbed Maria and forced her into a hidden soundproof room in the house. This room was a secret, and Barry had no idea it even existed. When Barry returned home, he found that Maria was missing. Her phone was off, and no one knew where she had gone. He asked his security guard if he had seen her, but the guard only knew that Maria had left a few hours earlier and didn't mention where she was headed. Growing increasingly worried, Barry tried to reach Chief for answers. Chief claimed he hadn't seen Maria or knew her whereabouts, adding to Barry's growing anxiety. Chief soon visited Barry's house to offer his support during the troubling time. Barry decided to call the police and told them that his wife was missing. The police informed him that they couldn't start a search for Maria until she had been missing for 24 hours, as that was their standard procedure. Feeling increasingly anxious, unknown to Barry, Chief has already contacted the police, telling them not to take Maria's case seriously. Chief then made a shocking claim to Barry. He suggested that Maria might have ran away with one of her sugar daddies. Barry was shocked and asked him what he meant. Chief told Barry that Maria had always been attracted to older men and reminded him of her family background. He spoke about Maria's mother, who had many men visiting their home, and how Maria's sister had died from a sickness contracted from multiple men. Chief's words were harsh and manipulative, leading Barry to start believing his father's claims. Chief continued, saying that he had once caught Maria in bed with another man while Barry was missing, and he was out looking for him. He painted a picture of Maria being unfaithful and deceitful. Barry, already distressed and confused, felt a deep sense of betrayal as Chief's manipulative words sank in. Dear viewers, what do you think will happen next? Will Barry ever uncover the truth about his father's dark secrets and evil actions? Please do share your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next episode. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.